SCP-1171 is called Go Home Humans. I think it's like a haunted house or something, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about this SCP at all, but we're gonna react to it, guys. This one's by SCP Exposed. Make sure to subscribe to him and me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one.
Maggie Barnes peeked out from behind her curtain window.
What up,
She
Maggie?
watched as the two men carried the furniture out of the moving van and into the house next door.
Okay.
You might think that she was hoping that her new neighbors would be nice people, but all Maggie cared about was how long they would stay.
Oh, wow.
In the last 2 years, Maggie had seen at least 20 families move into that house.
Wow.
Some stayed for a few weeks, while others only stayed days.
Ghosts.
She couldn't understand why they weren't happy there. The house was cozy, and
Or
the
we
surrounding
know
area
it's
was
SCP,
beautiful.
right? But
A car pulled up behind the moving van. A couple and
family
their two
goes
children
in.
got out and stood on the pavement, looking
Nice.
up at their new house. They look like a nice family, thought Maggie. She watched as they went inside. Later that afternoon, Maggie decided she would bake some cookies and take them around to her new neighbors.
oh, that's
She walked
nice.
up the path
So
and knocked
thoughtful.
on the front door. A man opened the door. "Hi there, I'm Maggie. I live next door. I brought you a little welcome gift." The man took the cookies from Maggie. "That's so kind of you. Thank you.
It
Would
is.
you like to come in?" "Oh no, I can see you're busy. I'll stop by for a chat once you get settled in." Maggie said goodbye and went
Real
home.
nice of her.
She smiled to herself.
Nice and neighborly.
Well, he seems really nice. Hopefully they will like living there.
Yeah.
It was around 2 a.m. when something woke Maggie up, and she sat bolt up in bed. What was that? She thought. I'm sure I heard a scream. I must have been dreaming.
They getting harassed?
Just as she was about to lay back down, she heard it again.
It is a
It hadn't
ghost.
been a dream. Someone definitely screamed, and it came from next door.
Right.
Maggie hoped that everything was okay there.
You gotta go
She
check
got
it
up
out,
and
girl.
went downstairs to make a cup of tea, but as she walked past her window, Maggie could see a family running out of her neighbor's house. She opened her door and called out to them. "Are you okay? I heard a scream." "We can't stay here any longer. The house is haunted," shouted the man. Maggie could see the terror on their faces as
It's
they
an
got into their
SCP.
car and drove away.
They think it's a ghost.
When she got up the following morning, she couldn't stop thinking about what had happened the night before. She didn't believe in ghosts,
You go
but
and
there
check
was
it
no
out?
denying something had definitely scared the family away.
Well, of course, it was all
She
four
decided
of
to
them.
go and check out the house herself.
Uh-huh.
The front door wasn't locked, and so she opened it and
Wow,
went
they
inside.
just ran out of that
The house
sucker.
was perfect. I could live here myself, thought Maggie. It's much nicer than my house. The house felt so warm and cozy. There was no way it was haunted.
Yeah, it's
Maggie
haunted.
called the housing corporation's agents, and after much convincing, and despite not officially being allowed to sell her house, within a couple of weeks, she had bought the property and moved into it.
Wow.
Everything was fine. Maggie laughed to herself when she remembered what the family had told her. It was obvious they had imagined it.
I don't think
Maggie
so.
was exhausted. She decided she would have an early night. She tried to read her book, but she couldn't keep her eyes open.
Okay.
She settled down and went to
It
sleep.
happens to me when I read too.
What was that? Maggie sat up in bed. The
that a
hairs on her
snarl?
arms stood up on end, and her spine tingled. She had heard a noise. Something was in the room next to hers. She didn't know whether to pretend to be asleep or to go investigate. Then she heard it
investigate?
again. She looked around for a weapon.
Does
If she had a burglar, she
does
needed something
sound
to hit
kind of
him
like
with.
a
All she had was a heavy vase.
snarl, right?
She picked it up and crept out of her bedroom.
A
She opened the
vase?
door to the room next door. Crash! She dropped the vase and it smashed on the floor. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her face was frozen in terror as she read the words written into the condensation on her window. "You're not alone. I'm coming to get you."
Oh my god,
Welcome back
dude.
to SCP Exposed.
Can you imagine
Today we
seeing that
bring
in your
you
house
the
if you
Euclid
left
class
alone?
subject
What?
SCP-1171. But first, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on
You
any
got
more
it.
SCP
You
stories.
got it.
SCP-1171 is currently occupied by Dr. Matthews, who has established a false identity as a technical writer.
Okay.
A tall wall has been erected between the backyard, and all anomalous windows visible from the front of the house have been
Okay.
fitted with shutters. For security, several agents have moved in under the guise of lodgers.
Okay.
SCP-1171 is a two-story house in Queensland, Australia.
Okay.
It was built in 1958 and has been owned by several families, most of whom reported no unusual activity. The anomalous
All right.
properties of 1171 manifest on various windows of the house. Regardless of relative humidity, a layer of condensation is continually formed on the window panes.
I
The source
see.
of this moisture is as yet unknown. An entity hereby referred to as SCP-1171-1 communicates by writing in the condensation, as though it were running an appendage along the surface of the window. No
Okay.
biological traces have been discovered on the windows that can be attributed to it. Two-way communication can be accomplished by writing back.
All right.
SCP-1171 is apparently an inhabitant of another world, calling itself Beauremont. It claims not to be human and is actively hostile to humanity.
Okay.
It believes Dr. Matthews to be an entity similar to itself. The most recent homeowner, John Wortham, complained about ghosts, prompting investigation by civil authorities and
Right.
eventually Foundation agents. Following the investigation, the house was purchased through a front organization, and Mr. Wortham's memories were altered. The following
Okay.
is a transcript of an interview between Dr. Matthews and SCP-1171-1.
Okay.
Carbon-based monkeys, go home. Hello?
Carbon-based monkeys.
There was a short pause before 1171-1 replied. Is someone there? My name is Dr. Matthews. Nice to meet you. I'm Beauremont. Where are you? In my living room. Where are you? In another living room. This is neat. How are you doing this? I don't know. I thought you were doing it. It's good to have someone intelligent to talk to. An oval with 5 dots and a curved line appeared on the window. 2 dots were below the line, 1 above it, and 2 on the left. It is
So it's
assessed
drawn
that this is
its face?
SCP-1171-1's version of a smiley face.
Oh, okay.
Is there no one else there? Mostly just a bunch of gametes and carbon lovers. Can't hardly stand any of that politically correct stuff. Gametes?
It's like another dimension.
Yeah, you know, humans. Don't you have them there? Dr. Matthews paused for a moment and then answered. No, tell me about humans. Oh, they're the worst. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not racist or anything. Some of my best friends are human, but if they're as good as us, why do they need skin, am I right? I suppose so. Say, what do you look like? Oh, pretty average. 7 tendrils, tall, brown carapace, green bioluminescence, blue eyes. You? Same. Dr. Matthews conducted several interviews with
Same.
SCP-1171-1. In one of these, the entity complained about being upstaged by a human.
Okay.
Doc, you there? I am now. How are you, Beauremont? I've been better. Lost a promotion to a goddamned primate.
Oh,
I'm sorry
no.
to hear that. It's okay. It just hurts.
He's
I
in
know
a
I'm
world
better
that
than any air-sucking
he's
sack of
living
protoplasm.
among them.
I work hard, you know?
Air
know.
sucking sack of
They come
protoplasm.
in, they take our jobs. I tell you, Doc, one of these days, they're going to push us too far.
Oh my
Not that I'm
gosh.
saying we should get violent, but that's the natural
It's
result if
like
things keep going
immigration, but
this
with
way.
another race.
I hope it doesn't come
Another
to that.
species, actually.
Oh, sure. No one does. I mean, they can't help being what they are. But they keep coming in. I mean, I don't mind having a few as neighbors, so long as they mind themselves, but would you want your spawn sibs to marry one? I suppose not.
Wow.
A later interview was also held by a Foundation agent.
Wow.
Doc, you there? He's out. I'm watching his house for him. Who are you? My name's John Doe. I am a human.
John Doe.
Oh, I didn't know Doc knew any humans. Is that a problem? No. It's about time Doc got some human friends. Great to see that he's meeting new people. Glad to hear that. Variety is the spice of life. That's my motto. How are you? Is your skin nice and flexible? Inside's full of fluids?
Full of fluids.
Everything is satisfactory. Thank you. I've got to go. You take care, John Doe. Soon after, Dr.
Wow.
Matthews returned to the scene. He and SCP-1171-1 had this exchange. Doc, are you there? I'm here, Beauremont. Did you know there was a human in your house? Yes, he moved here recently. Well, I had some words with him. He was a bit lippy, but I put that gammy in his place.
Lippy?
I see. He didn't give you too much trouble, did he? Nothing I can't handle. You gotta know how to talk to them is all. Let them know who's boss, that's the ticket. I'll keep that in mind. The Foundation has also discovered
Wow.
that SCP-1171 was able to set up a Twitter account. The account, @HumansGoHome, is primarily used to express hostility towards humanity.
Interesting.
On the 26th of November, 2012, it tweeted, "Humans shouldn't be allowed to drive when they can only keep 2 eyes on the road." On another occasion, it shared, "What do you call 1,000 humans at the bottom of the sea? Lowered property values.
Wow.
#HumansGoHome." What do you think of that SCP case?
Wow. He's terrible. He's like a racist, but for other species. Like if we had aliens on Earth. or something. That's crazy. It's all happening in another dimension, though. Apparently, there's humans there too. Very, very interesting. An alternate reality, I suppose. Guys, SCP Exposed. Make sure to subscribe to him as well as me if you like reaction videos. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.